we need to determine whether these two equations are the same equation, whether they are parallel lines, or whether they are neither. So to figure out whether these lines are parallel or the same, we need to write these two lines in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So when we've written our equation in this form, we can determine whether these two lines have the same slope and the same y-intercept. So to write these equations in slope-intercept form, we first want to isolate our y value. So I'm going to label these as equations 1 and 2, and we're going to start by looking at equation 1. So we have negative 3x plus 4y equals 8. The first step to isolating our y value is to add 3x to both sides. So we get 4y equals 3x plus 8. Now to isolate our y, we need to divide every term on both sides by 4. So once we do that, we get y equals 3x over 4 plus 8 over 4. And we can simplify this one more time because we know that 8 over 4 is equal to 2. So we can write this equation as y equals 3/4 x plus 2. So we've written our first equation here in slope-intercept form. Now we're going to do the same thing for our second equation. So we have negative 6x plus 8y equals 4. Same thing, we want to isolate this y term by adding 6x to both sides, giving us 8y equals 6x plus 4. Now to isolate our y variable, we need to divide both sides by 8, which will give us y equals 6 over 8 times x plus 4 over 8. We can simplify both of these fractions. 6 over 8 is the same as 3 over 4, and 4 over 8 is the same as 1/2. So we've now written equation number 2 in slope-intercept form. Now that we've written these equations in slope-intercept form, we can determine the slope and the y-intercept of both equations. So looking at equation 1, we see that our m value here is 3/4, so our slope is 3/4, and our b value is 2, meaning our y-intercept is 2. Now looking at the second equation, our m value is also 3/4, and our y-intercept, our b value, is 1/2. So these two equations have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. And that means that these two equations are parallel lines because parallel lines have the same slope. I'm going to draw a quick little graph here. So one of these lines has a slope of 3/4 and a y-intercept of 2, meaning that it might look something like this on our graph. And the second line here has the same slope of 3/4, but a y-intercept of 1/2. So it may look something like this. So these lines are parallel because they have the same slope, but they are different lines because they have different y-intercepts. And we know that when lines are parallel, we are not going to have a solution to our system of equations because these lines, because they are parallel, are never going to cross each other. And we know that solutions to systems of equations occur where two functions, two lines cross each other. So the correct answer here is that these lines are parallel.